Hey guys, this is a video on how to replace an intake boot on a 2000 328i. First you're going to want to take the air scoop off the intake, and there's I think it's 4 little clips that hold it down. Use like a trim tool to pop them up. Then after you pop it off, you're going to want to get a 6 nut driver or socket, whatever, 6mm, and undo the hose clamp that holds the intake boot or intake tube. And then also take the 10mm bolts that are holding down the air box. Use the trim tool to pull that air line off. Here's a 6mm nut driver, taking the hose clamp off. After you take that off, there's going to be some T30s holding the intake plenum valve, I don't know what you really call it, to the intake manifold. You're going to see those right there to the left. They're T30s, torque spits. Take that electrical connector off and that other T30. Here's me using the air ratchet with the T30 on it to remove those bolts real quick. It's kind of a pain to get to. Can't really see them. Not a lot of room on these cars. And once you got them off, you just grab it, kind of wiggle it, break the seal, and kind of maneuver it out of there. And once you got it off, you have a lot more room to get to those those hose clamps that hold the intake tube to the throttle body and idle air control valve. And once you get to that part, it's kind of a pain here forward getting those clamps. I mean, BMW did not give you any room, especially with that cable. I think that's the throttle cable right there that's in the way of the clamps. And make sure whenever you do put the clamps back on that you're not interfering with that cable, because it can cause it to stay engaged or whatever. But right there you can see the hole. Well, you can't really see the hole. I'm trying to point it out to you. But once I get it off, I'll show you where the hole is, where they usually end up. Because the bend that the BMW made on that tube and the mold is a pretty harsh bend. That's why it causes it to rip. Dry rot or whatever. See the hole right there? That gives you check engine lights for unmetered air or whatever the code is. I forget what the code is. Here's a 6mm socket on a 1/4 inch ratchet. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. There's the new intake boot put on. I used the 6mm driver to get those on. That's it. Have fun, guys. It's a pain in the butt.